Okay, thank you all for joining this demo, and thank you for your time on Sunday evening. So before we start, a couple of instructions. Please be on mute. The session is going to be recorded and it will be shared you for the future reference. So please be on mute. I'll definitely give you time for asking all of your questions, and I'll be answering each one of your questions towards the end. You can post in the chat or you can ask towards the end, and I'll be answering. Okay. Now, in next 1 hour, we are going to discuss about one new course. When I say new course, it's a new batch that we are going to start, and that is data engineering. Now, what is this data engineering? All of you people who are sitting in this session, you would have heard this word, and that's why you are here, right? Somewhere you would have heard about this. Either the company is asking to scale up, or you've already read somewhere, or you feel like this is the one skill which is going to be in demand, right? And that's why you are trying to attend this session, knowing to more details. Now, let's see what is this data engineering, why it is so demand in the market, what are the technologies you will be learning, why you have to learn this, and then finally we'll see the job opportunities, and we will see what we will be covering in this course. Okay, before that, to start with, I'm very much privileged to talk about myself. So as most of you know, and people who don't know, you can call me Santosh. I've been almost working in IT for 10 years now. I started in 2013 and successfully still going on 2023. And I'm in BTech MBA graduated with data science and data analytics subjects. So currently I'm working as manager in Microsoft. That's my core job. And apart from that, I've been taking training in KSR. And it's been almost 5 years I've been taking training. It includes offline and online. As we all know that COVID just hit us, we started to move to online classes. And now again, we are back with offline. So this is a introduction about myself. And I'm also a certified corporate trainer. We train a lot of colleges as well as the corporates. And that's a short introduction about myself. Now, in the next 50 minutes, we will discuss about all this about this subject, which is data engineering. Okay. Now, in data engineering, there are multiple things. We will figure out one by one, and then we will cover in the end what you're really going to learn in this course. So before we get started, we have around 60 people in this batch. Now, all 60 people, you have got to know about this demo either of one source. It could be WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn, right? So we'll see that by which source you got into this demo now. Let's talk about a use case. Before even I talk about the subject, I want to set up the stage for you. So let's think about KSR is going to launch one course, and let it be XYZ course. The next thing is we are going to publish a YouTube video stating that this is what the course we are starting on this date. And we all know that many people will be calling from as a team. We will be getting a lot of calls. Someone who uses regularly Instagram will try to contact us in LinkedIn or Instagram, or the someone who uses YouTube directly messages us in the channel itself, or someone who would have got a WhatsApp message, they will try to reach us through WhatsApp. Correct? Now, we have 5 platforms: Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So obvious that many candidates or many of the students will definitely reach out to us by different platform. Now, as a team, KSR team, what is that we have to do now? We have to answer each and everyone's question, whether they are asking in Facebook, whether they were asking in Instagram, we have to respond. It's not like that. No, we focus only on Instagram. No, it's not that only we focus on LinkedIn. Not at all, right? When you're running a business, you have to go into the deep hole of all the platforms because each one will be interested in one platform. So there are my friends who never use Instagrams. They always use LinkedIn. There are my friends who always use Facebook, right? So each one will have their own usage of the platforms and they'll message in that. But as a team, we need to focus on all the 5 platforms. Now, launched, courses launched, different students, different candidates are different part of the country are calling us from different platforms. What's next? Okay. Facebook has got 895 leads, Twitter 75, WhatsApp 1420, LinkedIn 785, and Instagram 964. Now, in KSR team, we do have 5 people taking care of 5 different platforms. One person is completely taking care of the WhatsApp leads. One person is taking care of the LinkedIn leads. One person is taking care of Twitter leads, and each one is maintaining in a different format. One person is maintaining in an Excel format. One person is maintaining a CSV format, and so on. Now, in a company, you will have only one CEO. Of course, even KSR is having one CEO. So in KSR CEO, I mean, we need to report them how many leads we have got and what has happened. So we have to inform to our team. So this is a plan now. 5 platforms, 5 set of leads, 5 different file formats, and 5 different people. And all 5 different people going and asking our CEO, this is what the leads is. Now tell me, I'll give a 1-minute time for you. Think and tell me what problem can occur here. What problem can occur here? If this is what we are doing in KSR, what can happen? Anyone?
So like data formats are different here, like data sources are different, and we need to maintain the different databases, right?
We have to maintain different databases.
Like here formats are different, right? Like one source is coming CSV, one is coming from
That's
XML.
fine, right? We have 5 people, 5 people taking care of 5 different formats. What is the issue you can see here? I'm asking. Forget about file
Okay.
formats. Uh, End of the day, is this number correct?
No,
Why?
there is a chances of duplicate entries.
Very good. There can be a chances of duplicate entries. Now, let me tell you what happens. A guy who has messaged in Instagram, you would have not got a reply about the course details in the next 1 hour. He is going to ask in LinkedIn. The guy who has asked in LinkedIn, you would have not got a response in the next 30 minutes. You don't have patience to wait for 1 hour. Maybe you would have asked in WhatsApp. There can be duplications. Now, if you see this 5 people, you know what these people will do? They'll call all the people which is mentioned in the list. Their phone numbers will be there, the student phone number will be there, and the student email ID will be there, and they have to have the conversation. Now, in this case, the issue that can happen is one person can get multiple calls. One student, one candidate can get multiple calls. How it is possible? Maybe the LinkedIn is maintained by another person within KSR and WhatsApp is maintained by another person who knows that he has reached out to 2 platforms. So we don't know. So what we do, we call them both. Do you think everything is free? No, we have to spend some money to call them, right? So whatever calls we are making, even if you are making a normal call, you have to pay 599 for 84 days, right? Indian telecommunication network plan, right? Even if you want the recharge which you do for a normal phone, right? Do you think that we get free? Definitely no. So I have to give 5 phones to 5 people. So 599 into 5 phones, or a separate net pack, or even a like WhatsApp, whatever it is. So I have to go and give them the correct plan, and we are utilizing the time. This are all call center people for us who are like trying to call to the customers. In our case, our customers are students. So there is a duplication that is happening. So one customer is getting multiple calls, right? And it is also a time waste. It is also a duplication, and we are also utilizing more resources, and end of the day cost is also involved, right? One time if I get a credit card call, I'll say I'm not interested, thank you. The second time if I'll get frustration. Ma'am, just now I have told that I don't want credit card. Why are you keep on calling again and again? And this is the same frustration as students also will get if you're calling multiple times, right? And the person who has reached in WhatsApp, you would have got a call, and the same person who would have reached in LinkedIn, you will again get a call, right? Now, this is not the ideal solution for our KSR, because 5 people maintaining 5 different platforms. Now, of course, we are all data engineers, data analysts. We'll come up with one solution. Now, what I'm trying to propose one solution is, first, you get all the file formats into a single system, whether it's a CSV file, Excel file, JSON file, whether it is coming from Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Twitter, everything. You just organize it, put it into one database. Put it into one database. Okay. Now, in the database, you mention this guy has come from LinkedIn. This student has come from WhatsApp or Facebook. Now, in this database, now I will have control. What type of control? Okay, I can remove the duplicates, I can clean some records, I can transform some records. I will make it a well organized, structured content here, and that's what we are going to do as part of the solution. 5 different file formats, each one will be storing in the 5 different format, and each 5 will not be linked together. All that tensions not required. Now what I'm going to do, everything I'm going to bring at one place, and from that place all is yours. Data cleaning, data transformations, removing the duplicates, removing the null values, and everything you're going to do it. And finally, one person can go and talk to our CEO, saying that this many leads we got, this many leads have been calling from multiple platforms, and finally we got this much of number for batches. Now tell me, in this case, what is happening? 5 people are going and talking to our CEO of KSR. The CEO of KSR will get frustration. What is this? Each one is coming and telling this is a leads, this is a leads, this is a leads. Now, the better plan I would say is, I will put an extra effort at the initial case only, do all of the work, homework, hard work, everything I'll do at my end only, and then I will go and bring to the CEO saying that this is an entire data set, this is how we got the data from 5 different platforms, this is how we organized, this is how we cleaned, and this is how we are giving in front of you a single report we are giving in front of you. And now the decision is yours, when to start the batch, how to start the batch, what time we can start, all is yours. And that's a pointers we give it to CEO. This is a use case. Problem solved. We had a problem that did not work. 5 people, 5 different file formats, duplicates, null values. One person will give phone number, one person will give our email address, all mixed up. All that had happened. Now I came up with a better approach. Everything you put it into one system, and from the one system you start cleaning it, and there you go. You can go and show it to your CEO. Fine. This looked like a better solution for me. This looks like a better solution for me. Now, let's talk about why you need to organize everything. Here it's fine, it's just a 5 file formats, but what is happening in reality? What is happening in reality? I'll give you 1 minute time. Just minimize the screen, go to your smartphone and tell me, just like a glance you can do at your smartphone, and tell me how many apps you're using on daily basis. The one which you're seeing on the screen, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Google Pay, GPay, net banking, ICICI banking, or whatever you are using. If I count it, even if I have my smartphone in my hand, if I count it, on an average, I'm using 20 applications. And what about you? More than that, 20, 25, I'm not a Facebook or I'm not a Twitter user here, but still, myself, I'm using 20 applications. And what about you? And recently, last year, we got to know that the world population has touched 8 billion. It was 7.5 billion, but now it has touched to 8 billion. Now tell me, just do a mind calculation. In this 8 billion people, 3.5 billion people are using internet. And as of today, we have Google Play Store is having 3.5 million applications, and your Apple is having 1.6 million applications. There are 5.4 billion mobile users in the world, according to telecommunication network. How many people are using internet? How many people are using data? How many people are using different file formats? And all of this needs account. Nothing comes free for you. You cannot use a WhatsApp or a Facebook or even your Gmail without account. The first thing is you need to have an account. Either you have to register with your phone number or you have to register with your email ID. Now, just do a simple calculation. 8 billion people on this earth, 3.5 billion people are using internet, and each one is having an average of 20 applications in their smartphone. And just think about a mind calculation, how much of data that is getting generated every now and then. And now let's talk about who is organizing all this. Is it you or is it me? We're all at the receiver end. We just enjoy. The moment you go to sleep, right? You go to sleep, right? In that sleep, before sleep, what do you do? Yes, finally, the day is done. Morning to evening, all these struggles I had, and finally, I'm going to sleep. That before the sleep, do you sleep simply? Never. You use your smartphone for 30 minutes. That 30 minutes is a time pass for you. But what happens in the reality? You're using the 30 minutes, that 30 minutes data is getting generated, your high insights is getting generated, your pointers is getting generated, and the company who are all owning this, they're observing what you're doing. Who is maintaining all this? Correct? Now, when all this data is getting generated from different applications, now the question comes is, who is going to manage this? Who is going to manage this? Is it a you or it's me, or who is it? Correct? Now, we'll talk even further. Why only nowadays this data engineering, or why you're hearing data about uh, in the last 3-4 years, why it is in demand? It's all because most of the applications which you see has been in the last 20 years only, right? Facebook was launched in 2004, YouTube 2005, Twitter 2006, WhatsApp 2009. I still remember the day. I don't know how many of you are of my generation. I'm a 90K kid. Okay, 90s kids we call, right? 90s kids. And we usually use this 100 messages. We used to get 100 messages. Per day, we used to get 100 messages. And all this festival times, they used to charge 3 rupees, 4 rupees. And every New Year, every Christmas, every festival, you will never get any wish. Before one day only, you will get advance wishes. Have you all observed that? Yes? Do you all remember? Yes or no? Another insight I'll ask you. We have a recent tournament that got ended, right? T20 World Cup. So when did the inaugural T20 World Cup was launched? Anyone? When did the inaugural T20 World Cup was launched?
2007 South Africa.
2007. Who was the champions?
India.
India.
India. Today, when Virat Kohli hits a century, when India wins the match, or even if any of your favorite player wins the match, you start uploading the photos in Instagram, stories, WhatsApp status. You know what? When India won the first World Cup in 2007 under MSD, what if I say you there was no WhatsApp? What if I say you there was no WhatsApp? What if I say you there is no Instagram? Can you believe this? Today, everyone is using WhatsApp. Everyone is using stories. Everyone is using their status. And what if I tell you that when India won the World Cup, where Yuvraj Singh has hit 6 balls, 6 sixes, do you all remember that? What if I told you that there were no status, there were no stories? And that's what has happened, a generation shift from data to a data-driven technologies. Now, all these applications, which you can see, see the number of billion users. Facebook, 2.3 billion users. WhatsApp, 1.5 billion users. YouTube, today everyone is affected with YouTube only. Every time anyone, even your small kid, he has food only if he has a YouTube open, right? The best example is your kids at home, right? How do you feed them? It's not like you take outside or you not take to the terrace showing moon. That moon food and all, it's like we generation, we had it. Now what is happening? You just give a smartphone, you just give a cartoon, or you just give whatever the rhymes or whatever it is, and they start eating, right? Kids are using YouTube. And there is a separate YouTube called YouTube Kids, it seems. I still don't know what exactly is by Kids YouTube and a normal YouTube, right? Forget about all that. If you want to send money to anyone, you can just give their phone number and UPI pin. Yes, done. And those applications, if you see, it was launched in 2015 and 2018. Now, how this all things are making benefit us is usage, right? The day by day, our human comfort is actually increasing. Everything you can do at your home. Morning, if I wake up, right from my bed coffee till the night dinner, everything I can order within home. Even if I want an haircut, I can ask the person to come with my smartphone. If I want any product in Amazon, yes, I can do it. One smartphone is enough for you to completely end up in your day activities, right? Now, all this, if you see, these are all the things which you need to know, right? Every minute, there are 41 lakh YouTube videos has been watched, right? And let's say Google processes 40,000 search every second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds done. In 5 seconds, 40 into 5, 2 lakh searches someone would have made in. I mean, someone means all over the world, Google would have received it. How Google is managing? Instagram, every minute, 46,000 photos has been uploaded. Who is managing? how they are managing, how you're getting recommendations. And all this, you know why I'm saying this? All this is happening in this because of second point. Most of the data is getting generated in the last 2 years, 3 years only. Before that, yes, it is increasing, but the last 4 to 5 years, there is a huge trend that has happened towards the data growth. Now, why the data is becoming like this? That's the biggest question mark now. Of course, no need to tell. It's all because of internet. When I was in 2012, final year, right? We really struggled to get an internet pack. I used to go to a cyber center for my final year documentation. I still remember 1 hour we need to pay 45 rupees or 50 rupees. I have to go to a cyber center, take the printouts, type it, document it, and come back. The only reason we were not able to afford internet at my house. Today, what is happening? 5 rupees if you pay, you will get 1 GB. 10 rupees if you pay, you will get 2 GB. Right? Now, all this happened, it's just because of two things. One was your internet users and smartphones. Smartphones also have become very cheap nowadays. Even you will get it for 2,000 and 3,000. Initially, it used to cost more than 12 or 13 or 14. And now you can even get it for 2,000. Internet price has also been reduced. All over the device, if you can see sensors, smartwatches, how much hours I slept also my watch is telling. How many steps I walked, my watch is telling. CCTV cameras getting recorded of all the footage. Your hospital sensors, every second the heartbeat is measured. And you know what? The world is also going to change. IoT. IoT. I don't know whether you will remember me, okay? But let me tell you one thing. Note down this date, July 23rd, 7/27. I'm telling you this, okay? The future is going to be IoT. What is this IoT? Internet of Things. And what is this Internet of Things? What are you doing every day? You're just waking up, an alarm will ring, you'll wake up, you'll get ready, breakfast will be ready, you will eat, you'll book cab, you'll go for office, work, they'll give you all the work in the email, finish it off, come back home, dinner, sleep. What if I tell you, your house itself is like a smart house? The moment you enter the door, by seeing your face, the door will open. You come inside. The moment you come inside, automatically the fan, the air cooler, everything switch on by himself or itself. You need not switch on the buttons. There is no physical switches is going to be in the next 10 years. Whatever the switches you have in your house, right? On, off. There is no going to be any switches in the next 15 years. Take it from me. If that doesn't come true, you come and meet me. Everything is going to be a smart house. Right? Morning, you need not keep any alarm. Automatically the curtains which is closed your windows, automatically the curtains will open by himself. Today what I'm doing, I switch on the air cooler and I sleep. In the midnight it feels like very cold. I wake up, I switch on the AC and again I sleep. What if the air cooler adjusts its temperature according to your body temperature without waking you up? What if I tell you this is going to happen? And what if I tell you that Mondays usually heavy traffic will be there, so you have to plan 30 to 40 minutes prior to your schedule time. So automatically, instead of booking 8 o'clock cab, the cab get booked by itself 7:30. You need not book, it will only book, right? And while going, all the to-do list will come on your mobile, what work you need to do for today. And by when you reach office, automatically the cab also books return for you. Definitely this is going to happen. It's all because The world is changing. In the last 10-15 years, you would have seen what changes has happened. It's not a big deal that it will change in the next 15 years, right? And more importantly, user friendly. You need not go to school or colleges in order to use your smartphone. Just a couple of minutes back, my mom is sending message from the other room asking what dinner you want. See how the technology has changed. I'm in my room taking session. She's in the hall. She can never come and speak to me now. She's sending a message, what dinner you want for the next 30 minutes. See that type of trend is happening over messages. Same house, just a wall separated. She's sending a message, right? That's the peak usage of technology. That's what is user friendly. Anyone can use. You give your phone to your kid, he will use better than you. Now, all this is getting generated, and where it is getting accumulated, well, that's a big headache for all the technological people. Where will I store the data? How will I process it? Now, let me give you another use case. Imagine suddenly many of your relatives come to your house. Actually, you had called them separately. One day, one relative, you had called them Saturday. One relative, you had called them Sunday. This happened today morning in my house. That's why I'm picking up this example. Everyone wanted to meet me, so I said you can come at 11 o'clock. One person can come for dinner, one can come for lunch and all. You know what happened? Everyone planned themselves and everyone came together. Everyone came together today morning, right? My house is like 1,200 square feet, and 25 relatives have come today morning to see me. I was like, I told you to come in a different time, right? But all the people came same time. You know what problem they had? 200 square feet, and we have 20-25 people. It's very congested. We have a 2 BHK room, and it's very congested. And even we did not have a proper food prepared for them, because we thought one family will come in the morning, one family will come in the evening, one family will come in the night. What happened? Problem, right? Now, once they have come from a travel, they will tend to take rest, and they didn't even find some proper space. Now, all this were the problem just because everyone came home suddenly. And this is a problem. Before talking about the problem, I should also talk about why this problem came. The problem came because I was not prepared. I did not make proper arrangements. I did not properly invite them, and I was not handling the situation before. No one came all time together, so it was never happened. This is the first time. And I should have told them clearly that you come on Saturday morning and Sunday evening. Just because I told morning, evening, everyone like confused themselves and they came together. And I didn't even prepare proper food for them. Now, all this were the reasons that caused the problems. Just one small matter. I'm not able to manage 20 relatives. I'm not able to manage 20 relatives. Correct? What if data comes like this to your system? Data is coming in Instagram, data is coming from WhatsApp, data is coming from Twitter, data is coming from YouTube. Where you will manage 20 relatives? You are not managed, and are you going to manage 20 million data records? Where you will go and store? Where you will go and process? Where you will get the information? Just like relatives came, what if the data also flows like this into your system? Will you be able to manage it? Do you have the capacity to handle? Do you have the type of a strong system who can process the data? Have you been ever handled this type of situation ever? Never known. Never known. How will I go and manage this? How will I go and manage this? Now that's what is big data. The data which is coming in a vast manner where you're unable to process in your system. Right? Relatives, as far as 10 relatives, yes, I can afford it. But if I get 20 relatives, I'm not able to afford them. I'm not able to give them a proper shelter or a food or whatever it is. And that's where I get into problem. And the reason is I was not being prepared for it. Right? Now, coming back to this, all this was the cause of the big data. You know what is big data now? The data which is very huge, which you are unable to store it, unable to process it. And the reason, all this is because of smartphones and usages, sensors, everything. Now, is it really required to have this data? Can we ignore it? Fine, yeah, 20 relatives, right? 10 of them you send them out. 10 of them you ask them to come next week. Just imagine, okay, 2 families have come today morning to your house. Third family is coming. You don't even open the door and you say that, no, my house is full. You go and come back next month. Just imagine what will happen. Any guess? Relatives? Any of my relatives in this batch? Anyone? What if I say you that you come home tomorrow and I say that, no, you come next week? What will happen? What will happen?
They never come back.
Right. They never come back. Right. It's like disrespecting them. Now, we cannot ignore data. We cannot ignore data. We have leads that is coming from 5 different sources. At any point of time, we can't even ignore a single student. Because for you, it could be another institute. For us, it could be a student's life. We cannot miss a single student's call. We cannot miss a single candidate's call, whether he's calling from WhatsApp, whether he's calling from Instagram, whether he's calling from LinkedIn, wherever he is, our objective is to respond, because for us, every data point is like an asset for us. We cannot miss it. What you may do, okay, fine, if I'm not picking, you may go to another call, or maybe you will go for another institute. But from business perspective, for us, data is important. More the data, better the results, right? So data is going to be the key here. Whether it is coming in very fast manner, whether 20 relatives are coming, I would have planned. I would have asked my neighbors to take some few of them to your house, or I would have put some tent in the tent house in the terrace. Something I should have planned, but I didn't do. Now that's where I have to go and be prepared for what is going to happen in future. So we cannot ignore data, because data is going to be very useful for decision making. If you have the right data, then you can make the right decisions to improve your business. Now, let's see how much is big data? Any guess? Like 2 GB, 4 GB, 10 GB, petabyte. How much is a big data according to you? Anyone?
2 million rows.
2 million rows is a big data according to you. Okay. Anyone else?
In petabytes.
Petabytes. Okay. Anyone? Anyone who says the right answer, your dinner is ordered, will be ordered by me. Just after the class, I'll order food for you. Whatever you ask.
There's no limit actually. So data keeps on evolving. So
No,
I think that
if I'm calling big, what is that big?
So it
What
can be
is the
defined.
value of big?
Little more than the normal data.
Little?
More than the normal data.
Little more than the normal data. Okay.
huge amount of data, bundle
Uh,
of data.
that is what is that huge? That number, do you have that number in your mind?
Like it can only be calculated once we receive it, and we can calculate and like
More than some
know.
TB, sir. 30 TB, something TB.
Okay, let me give you a simple example. Try to understand this. If you understand this, big data is as simple as that. Okay, listen carefully. There is a glass of water. Very bad in drawing. Glass of water. The capacity of this glass is 250 ml. Okay. If I store 249 ml in this glass, it's a normal water. I will say normal data. Okay. If I store 250 ml, it is still a normal data. If I store 251, this is called big data. You may be wondering what happened to this guy. 250 ml is saying it's a normal data. 251 is saying a big data. What is that? What do you mean by that? Okay, now keeping this as an example, I'll give another example. In your top of your terrace, there is something called water tank. Syntax tank. Do you remember this? You have at your home water tank?
Yes.
Yeah. In this water tank, the capacity is 1000 liters. You store 990 liters, it's not a big data. You store 999 liters, it's not a big data. And you store 10,000 or 1001 liters, it's a big data. Now, you may be wondering, 251 ml also is calling big data. 1001 liters also is calling big data, whereas 990 liters is not calling big data. Now you tell me, what do you mean by big data now? I have given a couple of examples where 250 ml is not a big data, whereas 999 liters is also not a big data, whereas 1001 liters is a big data, 251 ml is a big data. Now you define what is big data.
More than the actual capacity.
Very good.
Relative capacity.
Very
More
good.
than the actual capacity, and if we give more than the actual capacity, it will not store right. It will gone right.
Right. The way we define the big data is it's not about the size, it's about the space. How much space it is having, whether is it possible to fit into a traditional system or not, is what we call it as big data. If it's able to fill within 250 ml, well and good. It's a small glass of water. 251 ml, it's an overflow. It's a big data. Coming to tank, yes, 1000 liters is my capacity. 999 can also still be a normal data, where 1001 could be a big data. And the way I will define the big data is something which is exceeding the capacity of your traditional system. One line definition is your big data. Well, today in your KSR, if you have around 10,000 seats available, if 10,000 seats are full, yes, it's a normal data. If 10,020 people are coming, it's a big data. Now that's the way you define it. It's not about 1 GB, 2 GB or 20 GB. Space never comes here. I mean, the size never comes here. It's all about managing it. Right? Now, let's take one step forward here. As we were talking about data. Okay, I still remember my first batch, my first batch of my training period, where I started in the year 2016. I had just one student. I had just had one student. And you know what? I used to go to his house, and that one student is my relative. I have to teach him for free. I have to travel to his house. Morning 6 o'clock, I have to go. I have to sit in his house. I have to teach him. 1 became 3. 3 became 5. 5 became 7. This is my 4th batch. 4th batch. Okay. Now, all the 7 people names I used to remember in my brain. I never store in my smartphone or I don't message them. 6 o'clock, I'll wait for them. 6:05, they don't join. I will give a call. I will just dial their number. I even remember their number. I by hearted. 7 members, right? It's all my 7 students. But today, 65 people have joined. Do you think I can remember your names? Do you think I can store your number in my brain? Definitely not. I'll start storing in a phone book, contacts, right? So 2016, I was able to remember each and every student, and first person I used to remember his address also. Second batch, third batch, I used to remember their phone numbers. I used to call them. Fourth batch, fifth batch, I used to store their numbers in the contacts because by hearting that many contacts was difficult. And then slowly 20 become 40, 40 become 80, 80 become 160, 160 become 400. And all this, do you think I can store in my brain? Definitely not. I started storing in the phone contact, and then now I moved into Excel. The capacity of an Excel is this many rows. After that, where you will store? I will go and store in the database. Database also has some capacity, 5 GB, or if you take a MySQL database, it's a 2 GB. Almost I'm speaking for almost now 45 minutes. The 45 minutes non-stop talking, my audio is getting recorded, my video is getting recorded, my screen is getting recorded, everything is getting recorded, and the file is going to be uploaded in our app shortly after this class, and the size of the file will be minimum of 1.5 GB. Where will I go and store? Where will I go and store this? Every class I take, it's going to be morning 4 to 3 batches, evening 2 batches, 5 batches. This 5 batches, it's going to come up with around 5 GB of data. Where will I store? Can I store it in my neighbor's fridge? Not possible. I have to store it in my system. Where will I get this space? Where will I go and process it? Right? Now, storage is the biggest problem I have, and that's what we need to figure out. How can we store it? To take one step forward, the data which is in the last 5 to 6 years has tremendously increased just because of your smartphone evaluation as well as your internet price. If you see from 2016 to 2020, there is a huge growth, and this is the last recorded date before COVID. Before COVID itself, we have 40 gigabyte. People who don't know what is gigabyte is 10 to the power of 21. That means as of 2020, 40 into 10 power 21 zeros. This is a data that is getting generated across the networks, across the system. Where will I go and store it? And as I said, this is actually was stopped in the COVID time, but post COVID, you know what happens. Even your school kids also had online classes. Everyone had to go and attend the online class, and that's what changed. And if you see here in 2025, it is expected to touch 175 gigabytes. This is an estimated, and we are already well above the mark at 2023. We have almost touched 100 gigabytes. Where will I go and store now? Where will I go and store? Right? Now, that's the issue we are having with respect to the growth. And the trend will keep on increasing because we all humans have started getting the comfort zone. Right? Everything you'll get it aram. Say you can sleep on bed, you can do whatever you want with your smartphone every entire day. Today from morning to just about the class time, nothing I did. I just browsed, I just watched some movies, I watched some YouTube. I never even went out of my bed. As simple as that. Even you would have done the same thing. Right? Now the comfort has become so much for humans that it's very hard to move out of this technological world. But we're all thinking from our perspective. But if you think about the business perspective, how are they managing the data? Now is where we are entering the subject. How are we going to manage the data? How are we going to process the data? Who is a person who's going to do for us? And all this comes in like in the real world, data we will be getting in a different systems. And that's what we call it as ETL. ETL stands for extracting the data. T stands for transforming the data, and L stands for loading the data in the real time. In our case itself, I have given an example. The data comes from 5 to 6 systems, 5 to 6 social media. But if you go and talk about any of the business, if you take about Amazon, Amazon gets the data in the different data sources. Facebook gets the data in the different data sources. There are millions of customers who are using all these applications. Where will they get the data? And that's the problem we have in the current market, where we will go and organize everything. And that's where we need a process called ETL process. And that ETL is extract, transform, load. Now, don't worry, because we already have some of the tools that is doing for us. Today, we are all doing manual work, right? In KSR, each one is collecting one file systems, and we are doing. Now we'll talk about traditional ETL process. The meaning of traditional ETL process is the one which is already existing. The one which is already existing. What is existing? Data is coming from different systems. Don't think about too much about the terminologies which you will be learning through during the course. And we do have a data, and that data goes to an intermediate storage, and then it goes to reporting. And finally, your CEO or maybe managers will go and figure out what a decision has to be made. And there is a already current system that is we have in the market. Then you may ask, then why are we going to learn this? Why are we going to become an ETL developer? Why are we going to become a data engineer? We already have the place where data will come in the different ways. Some tools are there which will organize it. Some tools are there which will put everything into a reporting, and some reporting tools are there which will go and show it to our clients. What is there? Everything is there. What else you need then? Now that's where the problem. We do have many traditional ETL tools that is already existing in the market, but unfortunately, slowly one system is getting exhausted. What do you mean by exhausted? It is going to the extreme size. You take a water bottle, it's done. Then you go for a water tank, done. Then a lake, that is also full. Then you're going to the ocean, ocean is also full. Everywhere it's full. Now, all these ETL tools are actually unable to handle in this 21st century because of the data load. All the systems was designed in the early 2000 and 2005 or 2006. That time we did not have that much of data. So these tools were excellent tools for us to go and get the data from the different data sources, organize it well, use it for the business. But currently today in this market, the big data is evolving like anything now. Now, unfortunately, none of the traditional systems are able to manage this type of data, and that's the problem we have in the current system. And that is where you people are going to manage this ETL, but you're not going to manage within the ground level. We are going to the cloud. We are going to the cloud. All this ETL process now we are going to manage within the cloud. The reason why we are going with the cloud is your on premises, that is your traditional systems, which was launched in the 2000 to 2005 and 6. That time it was good. Suppose this Facebook, WhatsApp, all these applications, I'm giving an example of WhatsApp and Facebook, but there are lakhs of applications that is getting data that is getting generated all over the world. And in order to manage that, we do have a lot of problems. And those problems are maintenance cost. We have to put a greater investment on the database, company's limitation, right? Performance it. How much you can store in 1 liter of water bottle, you can store only 1 liter of water. Even if you put an extra drop, it will leak out. That leak out is a customer data leaking out. All these problems we have in the on-prem. Now, data engineering is not new. It is already there from 2000 only, but provided it was a on-premises data engineering. But what we are going to learn is, unfortunately, the systems are not helping us in managing the data. And now we are moving all this, the data, the storage, the processing, everything we are going to do within the cloud. You just go to the terrace, look up at the sky, and that's the cloud, such a huge cloud, and you can store any data anywhere, right? And that's what is cloud computing. Unlimited storage, backup, recovery, everything you can store. A simple example I'll tell you about the cloud. My laptop is, just listen this. If you understand this, cloud is very easy. My laptop capacity is 1 terabyte. My laptop price is 1 lakh and 1 laptop. Today, KSR data, we have around 1 terabyte. So 1 terabyte I have stored in 1 laptop, which is a cost of 1 lakh. Entire KSR data, assume that I am storing it my personal laptop. Problem solved? Okay. Do you think always my data is going to be 1 terabyte? Never. My recording, today's recording itself will go up to 5 GB. So what will happen? My data will turn to 10 terabyte. What will I do? Very simple process. I'll buy 10 laptops. Each laptop charge 1 lakh. So 10 lakhs. I was able to store 10 terabyte with 10 laptops. Can I go with it? Can I do this? Tomorrow my data is increasing 10 terabyte. I'm going to buy 10 laptops. 10 lakhs, problem solved. Can I?
No,
Why?
because continuously the data storage is going on and my expenses is also going on. Expenses in terms of laptop.
Okay, that's fine. Tomorrow it changes to 100 terabyte. I'll buy 100 laptops, 100 lakhs. What is there?
So
Tomorrow
the
it is
problem is that
increased.
we are not using the consuming the 10 TB at a time. We are going to slowly consume, and we are investing 10 lakh right now itself.
There may be a chance of lesser data also incoming. We don't guess whether it will come 100 dB or.
Oh, if data is coming, I'll sell some laptops second hand. That's all. Problem solved.
Maintaining these 100 laptops is so difficult.
Yes, that's the most difficult part. I cannot handle all 100 laptops. I need to forget about money. Somehow we will invest, somehow we will buy 100 laptops, 100 lakhs. It's fine. But what really matters here is managing. I have to hire 100 people to go and take care of this, right? Now, forget about this 100 terabytes. Let's talk about 10 terabytes. So 10 lakhs I need to spend to manage this 10 terabyte. Suddenly someone from the sky falls to us and says that, hey, don't spend 10 lakhs. You give me 3 lakhs. I will manage your complete database. What else I need? This is what I wanted. Me spending 10 lakhs 10 laptops, 10 people managing whether they're working or not, whether they're operating or not, getting the data from them, maintaining all the laptops, software, licenses, power supply, hardware, everything. It's a big tension for me. I was thinking about this 10 terabyte, 10 laptops. Suddenly someone from the sky falls to us and says that don't spend 10 lakhs, you give me 3 lakhs, I'll take care of everything. I'll take care of the backup, I'll take care of the recovery, I'll take care of the power supply, I'll take care of the bandwidth, I will take care of managing it. You need not use it. I will use my people to operate my systems. Well, what else I need? This is what cloud computing is going to give us with a very less cost. They're going to manage our complete database systems for us. And that's what as a business also I wanted, because I am not here to worry about my data. I am here to worry about my business. I am here to worry about my growth of the business. It's not about I'm worrying about my data or infrastructure. And that is what I wanted here. Someone is trying to help. Why don't we take the help from them? And that's why we are going with cloud computing. There are 4 top cloud computing services in the market, and we have AWS, we have Azure, we have GCP, and you have Huawei. And among these cloud services, which cloud service we are going to use is our decision, right? You want to buy one hard disk. There are many hard disks. Transcend is there, Seagate is there, Sony is there, Samsung is there, Realme is there. 5 brands are there. Which one you will buy? Your wish. Your wish. Correct? You will see which one is cheaper, which one is faster, which one is easily available next to your home. If you buy a Samsung, you should have a showroom next to the showroom, because if something happens, a formatted issue, you cannot run behind to Kashmir. You have to get your service done in the next street. So you look at all the brands and choose one. Similarly, for the data engineering, that we have to organize the data, bring all the data from multiple data sources and make sure that I use it for my business. In order to do that, I will choose one cloud service. And in this course, we are going to learn Microsoft Azure. You may ask me, can I do it in AWS? Definitely yes. You may ask me, can I do it in GCP? Definitely yes. But with respect to the market, with respect to the company's usage of the projects, we see that most of the data engineering pipelines have been using Microsoft product because of it provides a bit of extra features and flexibility for the managing it. As I said, an example of a pen drive or a hard disk, you have multiple brands. Which brand you use? Depending on your usage. Similarly, I'll look for the nearest one. I'll look for the nearest location. I'll look for the pricing. I'll look for the services. All this based on that, we will be choosing one service. There is another course also where you can build a data pipeline by using AWS also. Here we are going to learn Azure. The reason why we have chosen Azure here is, if you compare all of the job opportunities that we have with respect to data engineering, 70 to 75% of all the pipelines that we create we are using with respect to Azure only. And that's the one reason we have opted for Azure. And this has a wide opportunities with respect to the different locations, whether it's in India or abroad. Your Azure data engineering is a highest demand job currently in the market, right? And that's the one reason. It's not about 1 is best or 2 is best or 3 is best or 4 is best. Everyone's objective is to store the data, process the data. What we are using is up to our end. With that, we will be learning Azure. Data engineering is not new. It's already there from 2000 to 2005. But what now it has changed is Azure data engineering. It has changed. Now this is what is demand from 2020. The reason, data is growing. We are unable to manage by using traditional systems. And that's why we are moving to cloud. Now the demand is there for Azure Data Engineering, right? And now what you're going to do as a this role is, we are going to get the data from the different data sources. Data will be scattered across different systems, and you're going to organize it well, and you're going to bring it from different systems, and you're going to organize it for the projects and let them work from there. That is what we are going to do. Data will be scattered. Your objective is to bring everything at once. People who are using will be huge. Just like people are using WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, everyone are used. But what is happening in the back end? There is no one except you and me who can manage the data. We are the people, technical people, who can try to manage the workload. So tomorrow, if relatives are coming, who can manage? Only you and me should manage. We have to arrange a neighbor's house, tent house, or even some extra rooms. We need to do that. And that's what, as a data engineer, also we are going to do that. The system is not clear, and we have to make the system clean. That's our objective. Okay, so this is about the cloud computing. So with that, I'll just give you a small roadmap. What you can I mean, who can become a data engineer, how you can become. In order to communicate within the, let's put it in this way. If I stay in Karnataka, okay, I stay in Bangalore. If I want to survive in Bangalore, if I know Kannada, that's enough. I don't need any other language. If I want to survive in Bangalore, if I know Kannada, it's enough. So similarly, any communication you are making DB to DB, database to database, you need to know one language. What's that language? SQL, structured query language. So in order to communicate with a database to database, you have to know one language, and that we are going to learn first. It's going to be SQL. Now, with this Kannada language, do you think I can survive outside Bangalore? Do you think I can survive outside India? Definitely not. I need to learn another language, which is called English. So if I have a knowledge of English, if I can speak English, all the people who are sitting in the class are able to understand, and someone is joining from different country also are able to understand. It's just because I'm speaking in a plain English language. Everyone is able to understand. It's all because I'm speaking in a common language. Similarly, DB to DB, fine. DB to any other system, you need to learn one programming language. And one of the beautiful language which you are going to learn with respect to programming will be Python. So SQL, DB to DB, DB to any other system, or any system to any system. If I want to make a communication, if I want to communicate with in India to US or US to UK, the only language which I can speak is English. So similarly, another programming language which I want to learn is Python. And you have to arrange proper data into proper manner. Okay, in order to explain this data warehousing, okay, let me tell you one small example. Most of you will have a shelf in your house. This is the one thing I get screwed in my house. Though completely responsible also, this one thing they'll scold me for anything. I have a shelf. I'll dump everything in that. Books, clothes, laptops, chargers, everything I'll dump. Suddenly my mom will come and pick one, like a earthquake, everything it will fall down. Right? Two type of shelves is there. This shelf is called A shelf. This shelf is called B shelf. If I pick this book, everything will fall. It will fall. And if I fall it, obviously I can rearrange it. For arranging, it will just take me 5 minutes. For arranging back, I mean, arranging is just dumping, right? Everything will fall down. You go and dump it again. Simple. But the problem with the A shelf, what will happen is, by chance, if you are looking for any of the magazine or a newspaper or any toy, and we are all unlucky people in this world, unless and until we get that luck, we will never believe in luck. So what will happen? Any product we search, minimum 30 minutes you have to search. Anything you search, you have to search for 30 minutes. Arranging it's 5 minutes, but if you are looking for something 100% sure, it will take 30 minutes. Because as I said, we are not that lucky. If you are lucky, you will get it in 1 minute also. But you are not lucky, we will get 30 minutes. But let's look at the B. For arranging, I will take 30 minutes. Slowly I will arrange. Here toys, here books, coloring books, picture books, everything I'll arrange. Now, someone is asking any book, any toy, anything they ask, maximum the time you'll take is 5 minutes. Now tell me, A is good or B is good? A is good or B is good?
B.
No, A is good. 5 minutes I can arrange it, right? Here you have to spend 30 minutes.
For long run, B is good.
For long run, B is good.
Anytime you can search anything at any place.
But do you have patience to sit and arrange for 30 minutes?
If we arrange it, later we can find it quickly, right?
Yes, the initial efforts you're going to organize it. Here it is a shelf and it is a books. And what I am going to do is I am going to organize the data. Here I'm going to organize the data. Properly put customer data, I'll put it in a separate table. Product table, I'll put it in a product table. Sales information, I'll put it in a sales table. And that's what I'm going to do it in data warehousing. And suddenly some problem comes. What was that problem? Suddenly the data started improving. I mean, suddenly the data started growing like anything, and I was unable to manage it. And that's why the problem comes. The problem is big data. So I was not able to store it in a shelf because suddenly the data started increasing and I was unable to manage it. In order to overcome that, we do have beautiful solutions, and that solution was Hadoop and Spark. To handle this big data, we have a beautiful framework that we are going to work it in Hadoop and Spark. By using this, we were able to handle the big data problem, and all of this big data problem, rather than doing it in on-prem, now we are going to do it in the cloud. Well, if you learn this step by step, then you can proudly say that you are a data engineer. First, we'll try to learn communication between the database and database. Then we will learn to communicate between the database to different systems. And then we will see how we can organize certain stable structures. And then we will see what is a problem that current system is having. And for that, we will see what is the solutions we have. That is what your Hadoop and Spark. And finally, it all ends with the on-prem, which is already there. But I want to implement in the cloud so that my entire problem is solved. And that's what we are going to learn Azure. Okay, so this is a roadmap, and obviously the demand for data engineers every single day it's increasing like anything. The reason is data, no one is able to manage it. 2022-23 last year we have seen almost 15 to 20% of growth that has happened with respect to job, and the market has predicted that in the next 4-5 years we can say there is going to be a demand for 60 to 70%, both in terms of opening salaries, packages, offers, opportunities, everything is going to increase, right? And now the demand for data engineers, you know why it is a demand? Because we have a very few talents who can help us achieving this pipelines. And obviously the one place where I would say that there is no data engineering is, I can't answer this, because everywhere there is a data problem. You go for banking, there is a huge customer records, huge data. You go for healthcare, sensors, pointers, patients informations. You go for e-commerce, Amazon, so much of products we have, travel, retail, digital, payment, telephonic, everywhere there is a data. I'll tell you where data engineering is not useful. I'll tell you where data engineering is not useful. Data engineering is not useful where data is not involved. Can anyone give an example where data is not involved? Can anyone give an example where data is not involved?
Who doesn't have phone?
Who doesn't have phone? Yes. Who doesn't have phone? Who doesn't have anything? Who doesn't have business? Who just sits at home? Those people. And do you think it's possible? Definitely not. If the demand of data engineer has to come down, these two things has to happen. Remember carefully these 2 points, very important. If the demand, not only data engineering, the demand for data driven has to go down, that means 2 things should happen. Every other person, every other technology person has to learn data engineering, right? People who are coming out of the college, people who are 10th standard, 12th standard, everyone I will teach data engineering. Everyone I'll teach the importance of data. That's the first step. The second step is people should stop using all this high-end technologies. They have to go back to the past, like sending letters, inland letters, walking, no driving, no smartphones. No. It's not possible, right? It's never, we are not going to turn back. We're already upfront. We're already started flying in the flight. Now we cannot come down. That's what is happening with respect to data driven. So wherever data is there, data engineering opportunities will be there, right? And expected salary, one of the top paying salary is data engineering. Normal technological people will be paid only 2x times the experience. When I say 2x times the experience, imagine the people who know Java, people who know testing, people who are coming from non-IT, all this, if you see, if their experience is 5 years, they can get maximum of 10 LPA because it's just the 2 times their experience. It's just a 2 times the experience. By chance, if you are learning any extra skill, you may get up to 2.5 times. But if you are a data engineer for 5 years, you can even get 20 lakhs per annum. For 5 years, you can even get 20 lakhs per annum. Easily. A lot of people in our batch itself, in the previous batches, they have touched 20, 25 for 5, 6 years of experience. Easily they'll give whatever ask they'll, because there are no talents. If you ask a data analyst, there are many data analysts. If you ask a data scientist, there are data scientists. But if you ask a data engineer, there are no much of data engineers. So 4 times your experience, you can get it. I'm talking about Indian market. So if you're 10 years experience, you can even get 40, 50 also. But all is required is dedication to learn this technology. Let me be another point also. For the last 5 years, I have taught almost 26 to 27 technologies. But I'll tell you upfront, the difficult subject is data engineering. I'm not here to fear you, but I'm telling you, it's worth the subject. You read, you get settled in your life. Because data engineering will be there for next 10 years, undoubtedly. I am not a person who always predict the future. Even after COVID, we all know that we can't even guess what is happening, what is going to happen tomorrow, right? That type of unpredictable life we are. But even in this case also, I'm telling, for the next 10 years, data engineering is going to be the boom. Reason? More applications will come, IoT will come, more data will come, more managing things has to come. Who will do all this? Right? So expected salary is quite high for this. But of course, as I said, it's a difficult subject. You crack it, life is going to be settled. And with that, I am also going to tell you most asked questions from you. So I'll cover this and then I'll give the stage to you. So the first thing which I want to tell is what is the job market for data engineers? There are a lot of openings and there is a very high package salary that you can get with respect to this. And the other thing is it has openings in all the sectors. It's not only that you will be working in bank or you're working in IT sector. In IT sector also, we have a different opportunities. Even a normal agriculture projects also, data engineering is useful. So this is a very high opening jobs we do have, and the salary more than what you expect. More than what you expect, they will give you. Anywhere, any other technology, if you go, they will negotiate it. But this is no negotiation. Whatever you ask, straightforward they'll give you, because we do have lack of talents. And who should go for this course? Now, this is the biggest question all will have. The first thing I would say is, upfront, I'll tell you, people who want to get into a high paying job, for you, this is the first chance for you to crack it, because wherever you are, whichever pay scale you are 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs or 4 lakhs, based on the demand, this will be a very high paying job for you. People who are non-technical, I'm enough of doing, I want some challenging role, I want to get into a good career, I want to stabilize. In the next 10 years, I have to settle. I have to make sure that my career is stabilized. I need not worry about layoff. I need not worry about what is happening in the job market. I will have to learn. Then for them, this is a right opportunities. Okay. And people who want to get into a more complex things like understanding the big data, Spark, PySpark, all this will be the good one. And this is something which I would say good opportunity for freshers. The only thing which I will not tell about is, I'm not saying that it's not possible. Career gap people may find it one step extra difficulty. I'm not saying it's not possible. We have a history says that people also who have been into a career gap or even a freshers, right? They may find one step or one x times bit of tough. But all in all, we all know that nothing is impossible. Anyone who has the passion and the dedication to learn, everything is possible. So we do have a lot of people who have scaled up, who have even cracked it. But career people gap may find it be difficult because they have to learn everything from basics. If normal people, whenever I'm teaching something, if a normal people or a normal working people or a non-IT people, or even if you have worked in some of the companies, if you study for 2 hours, more than enough. But if you are a very beginner, or if you are coming from a career gap, you have to spend 4 hours. I'm not saying it's not at all possible. 2 hours has to be 4 hours. This is as like that. Okay. But a very worthful subject. And even I've told this many times, from all the technologies which I've taught, this is one of my favorite, because this is where the problems are starting. If you don't have proper data, you can't do anything. You can't do anything. Data analyst, data reports, data science, nothing you can do if you don't have a proper data. Right? And as in then, I demand, I pay. Right? And this are what all these people who can go for this course. The only one which I would say is it may be for a career gap, but I'm not, disencouraging, or like I'm not telling that it's not possible. It's still possible, but I'm also telling you, instead of putting 2 hours of efforts, you have to put 4 hours of efforts. That if you do, anyone can achieve anything. And after completing this course, you will be an expert level. If you practice, if you do all the assignments, you will be able to learn SQL, Python. That's the 2 primary languages. And apart from that, we are going to build ETL pipelines, and below are the tools which you will be learning as part of this course. And at last, one question you have is, there are n number of YouTube channels, there are n number of Instagram posts, there are n number of institutes. One question I have in mind is, why should I join KSR? right? This is one question you have. If I go to Google, if I go to a chat GPT, if I go and ask how should I learn data engineering, it is going to give step by step, and it is going to give me all these tips. Well, I can pay it. Why should I join this course? If that's a question you have, well, anyone can start, but the question is how to start is what you people lack. You don't know where to start, how to start, where to read, how to read. That is where you're lacking, and that is why we are all working professionals. We are not a trainers actually, right? I am training is not my profession. Whatever I'm speaking for the last 1.5 hours, don't think me that I have been trainer for years now. Never. I've never been prepared to talk to this demo as well. It's like a spontaneous what I'm seeing on the slide, I'm speaking, and I am not a training by profession, but I am a profession as a data engineer working in IT. So I know what are the things we do in IT. The same thing we are going to explain in the class. Training is different, working profession is different. What you're going to learn, it will not be from a training perspective, where it will not be like what you learn in your schools or colleges, what we teach from the textbooks. This is going to be a highly different way of teaching. Whatever we do in the real time, that's what we do and explain here. Right? With that, you can go and browse any institutes. Nowhere they're going to teach all at once. For SQL, you need to join separately. For Python, you need to join separately. For Azure, you need to join separately. And that's what is happening all over the institutes. But we provide you all in one. You join here, learn all the skills like SQL, Python, PySpark, big data, data warehousing, and cloud service. All the 5 technologies you will be learning here. And that's the one important step you need to remember. Nowadays, what is happening? Why you need to go to 5 different shops to buy 5 products? You go to mall, get whatever you want, right? And that's what we also strongly believe in. You join KSR, go out with a job. And we are going to work with all live examples. That's what I'm saying. This is something which is not from a training perspective. It's what we do in the organizations, and that is what we will be explaining here. 75 to 80 hours of completely subject training, where we will be giving you all the insights of what needs to be done, how we have to handle it, how we will be getting the requirements, how we need to build the pipelines, everything we will be doing it. So pipeline is nothing but how the data has to be brought from one source to how it is moved into the other system. And I've just given a number, but more than that, we will be doing almost 10 pipelines we will be building in our course. And all in one, we are always good and better in providing the opportunities for you. We will try to prepare your resumes based on your profile. We'll understand where you're lacking, what type of projects you need. We'll go back and review we will have a one-to-one meeting with you, and our experts will call you, and we will discuss like what role you are, like what is your background. Based on that, for example, you're working in a manufacture sector, you're working in a healthcare sector. Based on that, we will help you in preparing your resumes and projects. And finally, not only about subject, you will learn a lot of things in this course. How to manage your clients, how to manage your challenges. In case you're stuck somewhere, how to handle that. See, moreover, I will teach this batch and I'll move on. But one thing I can promise you here is definitely in this course, you will learn troubleshooting skill. That's the key skill here. Anyone can go and search for the syntax. Anyone can go and look for the syntax. Anyone can go and implement it. What really matters is troubleshooting skill. Somewhere something I stuck. It's not the end of the world, right? It's not the end of the world. It's just a job. Job is just like a part of your life. How to handle the situation, how to manage your clients, how to manage your workload. And that's what you're going to learn here. Well, all in all, I can say is KSR is not an institute. It's a startup where we are all going to work together for next 3.5 months together in learning a subject, in implementing the pipelines, and then we will take forward from there. Okay, so resume preparation, assistance, mock interviews. Once you're prepared, we will take mock interviews. If you're like clearing it, we only have tie-up companies. So a lot of tie-up companies we do also have with respect to abroad, US, UK, Canada, Mexico, everywhere we do have consulting supports. So wherever you are in the world, wherever you want to go part, you can always get this information from us. we will get you. And India, of course, we are an Indian-based company, so we will be giving all the support to India, undoubtedly. You learn with us, you prepare well, you practice well, and automatically the opportunity will be open for you. With that, I'll end the session here. Please do ask whatever questions you have. I'll answer one by one.
Hi, sir. I have a question.
Yes.
Why Azure Data Engineering? Why not AWS? Because in AWS also some, future is there, right?
See, one thing I'll tell you is data engineering is demand. Whether you do it in Azure or AWS or GCP, it's all in the one. But the demand for Azure is more. The reason is Azure is less cost when you compare to AWS. AWS is the best cloud service. I have to agree that that's the true. But when it comes to pricing, not every company can afford AWS. There are a lot of companies who are actually looking for an affordable cloud service, and that is what Azure is giving us. Both are in demand, but more demand, more opportunities is for Azure.
Thanks. Thank you.
Hello, Santosh sir.
Yes.
I'm experienced a professional in as a data engineer in Informatica Cloud and Snowflake. So, is Azure Engineering is a right choice for me?
Since you have already worked with on-prem, I think this could be a very good opportunity for you to scale up on cloud. So definitely learning this will scale up your package, and you will be also getting a good opportunities because you already know with on-prem, right? So knowing on-prem, will never be a difficult subject for you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I'm a Power BI developer, so I want to know more about Microsoft Fabric.
You are a Power BI developer?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to know?
So I want to know more about Microsoft Fabric.
Actually, Microsoft
do we
Fabric
have any
is.
course?
See, Microsoft Fabric, you should have attended the last demo, I guess, but can you reach out to our team? This is a different course, and the one which you're asking is a different course. So I don't want to deviate, but can you reach out to our team? Our team can guide you a better video or recording to know about more on Fabric.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Santosh sir.
Yes.
Sir, good evening to you. I have two questions. Firstly, on when we go on Naukri and Indeed, we see so many job opportunities for experienced ones and very few for the freshers. So since I'm a fresher, can I get a job? And secondly, how much of query writing in NoSQL is required, sir?
See, one thing I'll tell you, this could be a question for everyone as well. It's not only about any subject. For always, freshers are like not at all considered all over the world. Okay, even in India also they don't value freshers, and even in US, UK also they don't value freshers. It's a universal that we need to accept it. But the thing is, I'm not saying it's a zero opening. There are certain companies who are looking for freshers as well because of the low package. So what you can do is, if an experienced person is getting 10 opportunities, freshers will get 3 or 4 opportunities. And now what's your goal is, within the 3 or 4 opportunities, you need to crack it. If an experienced person, if he's failing 5 interviews also, I'll just say, leave it, you try for another one. But for a fresher, I'll ask them to read on the day one itself, like be prepared. And nowadays what is happening, everyone who's coming out of the college, everyone is learning Java, .NET, C++ and testing, right? So no one is able to learn all this latest technologies. So if you learn data engineering, you will be able to get it, but with a limited opportunity, but you will still get it if you put your efforts, because at 2-3 opportunities which you get, you can still crack it. Worst case, I would request you to work in startup for 1 or 2 years, learn as much as you can. Freshers will definitely have openings in startups. So work in startups for first initial 2 years, try to get as much as knowledge, then go to a bigger companies. That should be the growth for a fresher.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm Sachit. Actually, I'm joined from the another account. But my question is that my primary question, I'm actually working as data analyst, and my primary work is all about BI dashboards and data preparation about to that.
And I just wanted to know, is this opportunity or this course is helpful for me for the career growth and that I'm looking for? Or is this a step back for the data engineering is not my daily used to work, and actually I'm working with BI. So I'm confused here. So is it a better go with data engineering, learn the basic part, and after that the BI is already I know that. So this is my primary question. So can you please
See,
help me?
since you're already working in BI, right? Who is giving you the data in your project?
Pardon?
Since you're already working at the reporting side, okay,
Mhm.
you're getting some data and you're building BI reports or data analytics reports,
Right,
right?
right.
Who is
Yes.
giving you data?
Primarily, we have clients that we are working
Okay,
for.
you are
That
getting clients, you are getting the data from client.
Yeah.
Whatever is giving, is it a quality data?
No, actually no.
That's what data engineers will do. Data
Okay.
engineers workers, see, you are facing a problem. That is what is all over happening across the projects. Data analysts, data scientists, they're not getting proper data at all. And that's why now data engineers are becoming famous as they will organize everything. See, all you cannot do, right? You're a BA reporter. So
Right.
you cannot go and clean the data. You cannot go and do a formatting. You cannot organize it well, right? That's why there is a special people who can do this. Is a data engineering. So data engineering comes first. Next comes a data analyst. Next comes a data engineer. Since you have worked as a data analyst, two chances are there. Either you can go for data science or you can go for data analyst. But I would strongly ask you to learn data engineering because this is the base now. If you know the base, if you know how to clean the data and all, so you can accept both roles. You can accept data analyst role, you can accept data engineer role. And that will actually give you a cross skill, and you can also stabilize your career by knowing multi-skilled.
Right. Sorry, there is another question I have. Uh, See, like if I learn this technology like data engineering, Azure, ADF, and everything, spacebar. So is this do we have like BI plus data engineering? Do we have that kind of openings and that kind of roles people are wanting, like different companies are wanting like that kind of roles? Is this the possibility this
Definitely
company?
yes. If you know both, you will always be on the upper hand.
Okay, okay. So
That is already, yeah.
and the next question will be the what will be the expected package according to that?
See, as I've told you about a high paying salary is data engineers, but if you are knowing multi-skill, always plus or minus 2-3 lakhs will be there. So knowing BI, knowing data engineering will always be an advantage. And nowadays companies are looking for multi-skilled. So among all the people in the group, if I can say that you will be rated as higher because of knowing both data analytics as well as data engineering.
And this is my
Hi,
last
sir.
question. So what is the fee structure and what is the duration of class? And are you the like the teacher of this whole class? So this is my final question.
Okay, so the batch starts from 27th. Just a minute. Let me confirm. 27th is what? Thursday. Yeah. So 27th July. Okay. And the batch will run only from Monday to Friday. Okay. So it will be in the 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock IST.
In morning, right?
Yeah.
AM.
Fees will be 25,000. And the course duration will be 4 months.
4 months. Daily 1 hour, right? 8
Daily
a.m.
1 hour 15 minutes. 15 minutes for questions. So 1 hour, you can plan it for 1 hour 30 minutes.
All these are live sessions, right, sir?
All these are
Live sessions.
live sessions. In case if you miss a couple of classes, nothing to worry. Every single recordings will be available for you. Just after the class, within the next 1 hour or 2 hours, the recordings will be available. You can see the recordings before coming to the next class.
And sir, what about the labs? Do we get practice?
So data engineering is all about using the Azure subscription. So Azure itself, they only give 1 month of free subscription. That is, they give you 15,000 credits. If you just register with your credit card, so you should be able to use it. So we will be teaching you how to create it, how to use it, and we can use the credits. That should be more than enough for us to put hands on. And there's not going to be any PPT or something. Everything is going to be a practical classes. So every day it's going to be a practical where you'll be implementing hands on.
Actually, sir, I have used my 1 month free trial subscription on Azure. So how can I
You
go
have to go
forward?
with another account.
But it is on PAN registered, sir. They register
That's
your
fine.
PAN
That's
ID.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. If that is used, you can go with another. We can, I mean, that and all is not a problem. We will help you in that.
Hi, sir. I heard that like Mahesh told me that you people are going to create a free account in Azure, then we can practice over that. Is it correct, sir? Or else?
We are going to pay.
Okay, okay. Yes, sir.
I'm
One more.
asking, we are going to pay? What was that you heard?
No, no. I heard that we will get that free account in that Azure.
No. See, the reason what we are saying is we will help you to get the free account. That means we will teach you how to create it. Each one has to create in your own system, right? So I cannot come and use your system, right? So you have to create in your own system. You have to use your own credit card. We cannot arrange 60 credit cards, right? So each one we will help you how to create it. You can create your own account and you can use it. But one thing I can promise you is whatever I'm teaching in class, it will not pay you any extra amount apart from the credit. So worst case 500 or 600 you may get charged, but not more than that. Whatever, if you are following what has been told in the class, if you do that, that will happen. But 1 month free subscription, you can use it.
Yeah, that's what might be. I heard that. Actually.
Yeah.
Okay. And one more question, sir. Currently, I'm working as a data analyst, sir, but I don't have hands-on experience in data engineering or some other SQL experience. Also, I just have basic knowledge in SQL part. Like how this course will be helpful for me to learn that Python and SQL. Sir, is this giving that depth knowledge for me, sir?
See, whatever is required for data engineer, we will be teaching that. So, I mean, irrespective of whether you know coding or you don't know coding, we treat everyone to be like a beginner. So everything we will be teaching from scratch. Just because like it's a tough subject, I'm not going to assume that there are certain people who knows everything. Everything will be teach from scratch. So even in SQL, even in Python, everything we will be starting from A to B. So you will be able to learn everything from beginning.
Okay, may I know the sir for SQL how many days it will take, for Python
So
also?
totally it comes around 80 hours. So SQL it will be like 15 hours. Python it will be for 15 hours. Then comes a data warehousing, Python, PySpark for another 20 hours. Majority of the portion is covered in the Azure where we cover almost 30 hours.
Oh, okay, fine, sir. Got it.
What about certifications, sir?
What type of certifications is like, see, Microsoft itself, they have a certification for data engineering. So once you complete this course, you will be able to crack it by yourself. But course certification you will get from KSR, but I would say that will not be useful anymore because it's just a training, right? So you've just completed training, but how much you are strong, that we cannot put it in the certification, right? So the certification may not be useful, but one thing I can promise you is once you learn this course, you can take up the certification that is organized by Microsoft. Somewhere it comes around 4,000 and DP 203 you can take it. You will automatically you will be able to crack the data engineering. That will add value to your resume.
Okay, fine.
Answer one question. How is the placement assistance? Like I'm very experienced and I'm looking for higher pay opportunities. So how the placement is going to support me?
See, I'll tell you one thing. We say that 100% placement, but I'll be frank, it's not 100%. People who do assignments, people who do homeworks, people who do our research. Data engineering is a tough subject. Here and there, I'll be giving you some task that you need to research because it's not about learning everything in 3 months, right? I am doing this for almost 8 years now. So the one which I'm doing for 8 years, do you think I can expect you to teach in 4 months? Not possible. But I would like you to teach here how to troubleshoot, how to fix, how to go and get the solution. That type of learning you will get here. So definitely, if you are able to solve our real-time use cases, if you're able to solve our assignments and all, 100% you will get the support. There are a couple of people who in the previous batch who came on the first day, they attended first class and they came in the last day and they're asking placements. We cannot do that, right? So obviously, among all the people, the priority will be given to the people who work, who do all the assignments, because all the assignments will be tracked. For them, you will be getting the support.
Sir, how beneficial is the knowledge of NoSQL for data engineers?
NoSQL, it will be part of the course we are going to cover, but it is not going to be completely. Almost like 4 hours we will be covering, where I'll be giving you an overview of how this NoSQL works. And moreover, NoSQL we will be working in the directly in the cloud. So it should be a basic knowledge that should be more than enough for you to crack your job as well.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, hi Santosh. This is Akash.
Yes.
First of all, thank you. I attended your 3 days webinar last year, and I got my job as a Power BI developer.
Okay, good
So
to
that
know.
was very helpful. Those 3 days workshop, and again now I have completed 1 year in my recent company. I'm looking for upgrading my skills. So I had one doubt. Today I've heard this session, this last 1.5 hour. I was confused between Power Platform Developer and this course. So which should I have?
Okay.
Power
See,
BI developer currently.
this is completely a different role where you're working with the pipelines, making sure the data is ready. Your Power Platform role is a different where you will be focusing on building a website, building a chatbot, building your reports and all. But if you compare salary wise, this is the highest one. No other technology can match the salary of a data engineer as of today, because I don't want to give a false statements. As of today, this is on top. But if you focus on the Power Platform is usually preferred for career gap or maybe like freshers who don't like coding. So this is a difficult subject, but if you learn it, it's really the worth. But Power Platform is an easy one where anyone can learn, but you may not get a high package, but still it is a growing technology where pros and cons will be there. Here high package, there it could be a normal package. Here it could be a 50,000 jobs, there could be a 30,000 jobs. So it all depends on the role wise. This is preferred for people who want to scale up with a high package, want to stabilize. Power Platform is still recommended for the people who don't want to learn coding.
Okay, so can I opt for both the courses then?
Obviously you can opt,
is it a
but
good option?
see, obviously you cannot, but it should not be like overcooked. You already attend classes there, you already attend class. When you will practice? So I would suggest you go one by one, learn this first. And after learning this, then take a 2-3 months of break, practice it, get a good opportunity data engineering. And whenever you have free time, you can always go and learn Power Platform. Power Platform is easy.
Okay, fine. Then I'll opt this only.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir, you have any placement assistance in Canada?
Yes, definitely we do have. So what we do is we do have companies, well, like tie-up companies. We do have a sister companies there. So what we do is once you complete the course, we do take mock interviews. We do take all your resume preparation, everything, and we will be pushing you there. And from there onwards, the company will take care and they will provide you the job opportunities.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
So, sir, do we get on-site opportunities in foreign
Definitely
countries?
yes. Definitely yes. Wherever you want to go, you let us know. We will have the support. We will help you to get there placed. Even if you want H1B also, we are having a good connection to provide you H1B as well.
Sir, what about in Europe? Do you have any connection?
Yes, Europe also we do have. Not directly, but somehow we can help you. So Europe,
Okay, because
UK.
I am currently based in Poland.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Maybe US, UK, Canada, Mexico is what we do have as a high level, but other things we will definitely give you a try by knowing intermediate tie-ups, right? We will definitely help you.
Okay, thank you.
How many projects will?
And sir, is there any advanced batch? Like I said before, I'm experienced and I know a little bit this Azure Data Engineering. So I want to go deeper in it. So is there any advanced batch or any special classes?
So this is a batch that is a generalized batch for basic to advanced. Like if you're looking for a deep knowledge, that has to come by with your experience only. But what we are teaching here will give you a strong foundation to work in any company. You can blindly show 4-5 years of experience if you learn this course. You can tell them that I confidently I worked for 4 years if you can learn this completely.
So I can sustain for experience duration like 4-5 years with this kind of knowledge you are providing.
Yes, the knowledge which you're going to learn for the next 4 months, you can easily portray yourself that you can work as 4 years or 5 years as data engineer. We are going to work for 10 pipelines. We are going to work on 3 projects. Next question.
Sir, you are teaching ETL as well?
Data engineering is all about ETL, right? Extract, transform,
Like
load, but we are doing it in cloud.
in online, okay. Cloud, like Azure Data Factory.
Yes, Azure Data Factory also will be covered as part of this course.
Okay. In SQL and Python, you are teaching, is that basic or advanced level?
Whatever is required for data engineer, we will be teaching that.
Okay. What is the difference between data engineer and data?
Sorry, you broke. Difference between data engineer and? Sorry, what is the difference between data engineer and?
Data scientist.
Data engineers are the people who are trying to gather the data from the different data sources, organizing it well. The next layer is data analysts. Data analysts are the people who are trying to understand what is happening in the data by using BI reports. After that, data analyst will tell what is the problem. Your sales is not working, their sales is not working, their sales is increasing, your sales is dropping. That they will tell. In order to get a solution for this, what ideas and suggestions and improvements we can make, that's where data scientists as on top. So the level is lower level will be data engineers who are organizing the data. Next comes a data analyst, like most of you are working as a data analyst, like you do reporting. And top of that, you work as a data scientist who will be like helpful for solving the problem. This is a hierarchy. For everyone, ground is data engineers.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, hi Santosh. The projects that we will do, right? Can that be like added to the resume?
Definitely yes. We are going to work on the real-time data.
Okay. Yeah, the problem is like I have completed the certification, but whenever like I go for interview specific to Azure, right? So I don't have any experience, so that is where I'm lacking. So I'm not even confident to answer any of the like. Even though I completed the certification, the real-time experience that I don't have. So would I be able to gain that kind of experience to crack the interviews?
See, definitely the purpose of this course itself is like trying to understand the core concepts and cracking the interviews wherever it is necessary. Like wherever we get a point, I'll be telling this is an interview question, this type of interview questions. I've taken thousands of interviews for my company, so I completely know what is expecting from the panel. See, the only thing which you lack is presentation skill. If I ask you what is Azure Data Factory, you may tell it's an ETL tool, but the way you need to answer is what you're lacking. So that is what I am here for. I can help you in answering, in putting into a right form, the way confidently you need to speak. So that type of skill is what you will be learning here. 100% if you are listening my classes, if you're practicing on the same day, there's nothing else you need to do for your preparation.
Okay, Santosh, thank you.
Santosh,
yes,
this is Akash once again. So my job timings are 8:30 to 6 p.m. So it will be difficult for me, but it is hybrid mode. So that is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
See, one thing you can do is you can join the course. 8 o'clock to 9:30 will be the 9:15 will be the course. I mean the class. So whenever you have office on the same day, you can see the recordings.
Yes. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, hi Santosh. Can you share the course curriculum with us?
Yeah, our team will share to you. If you
Like,
have registered with your mobile number, our team will share you in some time.
okay, fine, thanks.
Answer one question.
Should be provided some.
Sorry?
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, sir, I want to know like why should we go for data engineer instead of data scientist, who are more recognized and appreciated in the projects, as far as my experience is considered.
See, I'll tell you a honest problem that we are facing in our project as well, in our company as well. I have an experience of working with 80 projects. Okay, it's not one or two, it's 80. So all 80 projects in my decade of experience, I've been working as a data analyst, data scientist, and data engineers. But in the last 2 years, the number of projects in the data analyst and data scientist has completely come down. The reason, we don't have a proper data. Without even having a proper setup, how can you expect someone to build a report? Without even having a proper data, how can you expect someone to build a data science models? So the problem itself is known in the data. So the data itself, we need to fix it. And that's why in the last couple of years, data engineering projects have become more, whereas data analysts and data scientists has become down. So one thing I would say is, you learn data engineering, then you settle up like data science and data engineering and data analyst. Once you learn this, then you can go with upper, because on top is what? Data scientist. In order to reach to the top floor, first you need to climb the first step, right? The first step is what? Data engineering. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. And so do we need a master's degree or any degree relevant for this data engineering?
Nowadays, the market is like, you know concept, they will hire you. Whether you're a BCom student or a BSc student, doesn't matter for us. If you know skills, if you are talented, we will hire you. That is what is a company's mindset. It's not like only BE students, only from a top tier, or only from, if you're from a like high-end colleges, you will get placed. All that is gone. Now what is really required is skills. If you know, if you have that skills, anyone will hire you.
Okay. And so one thing I observed that it's a very stressful career. Like it's surrounded by so many tools and technologies, right? So it's
Come
very
on, you're
stressful.
working. Come on, you're working for 20 days and you're getting 1.5 lakhs. Is it stressful? Data engineers average salary is
Yeah, yeah.
1.5 lakhs per month. If you give 1.5 lakhs, who will not work? Tell me. Of course, it's a stressful, but you have to work only for 20 days, right? 10 days is still in your hand. See, nothing comes easy, right? You struggle, you get more. See, I can even recommend you Power Platform, which is a very easy life. You can enjoy your life. You'll hardly get 80,000, 90,000. In that also, you will pay 20,000 tax. Opt it for it. See, struggle is there, income will be there. As simple as that. It's a universal law. You put your efforts, you get more. Of course, see, I am saying that my life is stressful. Monday to Friday, I am completely packed with meetings, pipelines, everything. Of course. But obviously, I should be enjoying my work, right? So it all depends on your need. If you're okay with 70,000, 80,000 with a normal life, go for a normal technology. If you're okay with, no, I have to have a good career, I want to stabilize, obviously you have to struggle. And I'm telling you, almost 20, 27 technologies I've teached. This is a tough one. I accept that. And obviously it's a one which is paying high.
And sir, is it universal that's all data engineers are stressful, or
Depends on
do we get a
project,
good
right?
work-life balance here?
Depends on project. Not everyone will be like, I'm managing almost 14 projects now. 3 projects are going critical. Another 11 projects are going normal. So all depends on where you go. It's not only about data engineer. You go to any project, there are some of the Power BI developers who's thinking Power BI is easy, but they are putting a lot of efforts day and night. They are working because it's a complexity of the problem, complexity of the projects. So nothing is in your hand, nothing is in my hand. Where you go, how you work is what is important. No one can promise you that it's going to be a cool job or it's going to be a stressful job. What you really need to know is you need to enjoy your work. If you do that, automatically everything will go as per your plan.
Santosh, I have a question. See, actually, these days, I mean, as AWS has already introduced in the market way back, way before than Azure. So, do you think like Azure can come up with a lot of jobs in comparison to AWS?
See, that's what I gave an example. You want to store in a pen drive. What type of pen drive you choose depends on people's mindset. Some will look for a service, some will look for a price, some will look for the flexibility, some will look for the fast memory performance. So similarly, not everyone is using AWS or not everyone using Azure. There are lakhs of companies in the world which they have their own priorities. So depending on that, some will be using AWS, some will be using Azure. But one thing I can promise you is, what you learn one subject, let's say you are learning Azure Data Engineering, then in the next, if you want to scale up or if your company is asking you to read AWS, it's just a matter of 1 week. You know why? You know SQL, you know Python, you know data warehousing, you know Spark, you know big data. Instead of Azure, you'll be learning AWS. That's all. Just a matter of 1 week. So even if you are spending 1 week extra a year, you will still get a knowledge of both AWS and Azure. So it's not at all a big deal. You learn one cloud, every cloud is easy. But from the market perspective, from the end of the day, everyone needs job. So depending on that job profile, we have chosen a course to be Azure Data Engineering. We do have another course, Snowflake. We do have another AWS. So depending on your need, you can join. If you are focused only on the cloud, you have an option. But if you're focusing on a job, this is the right one.
Do I need to do any kind of certification for this to get the job?
Not required as of now. Anyway, once you get into a company will ask you to do. So that is where company will pay for you. But as of today, if you want to take a certification after the course, you can take it by yourself. Whatever we are covering in the class, that should be more than enough to crack this certification.
And sir, how good we need to be in SQL and Python?
Whatever whatever is basic required and how strong you need to require, everything will be covered as part of this course. And here and there, I'll be telling you what you need to focus on. If you know that, then your stage will be set up to learn the Azure. So first we will be starting with SQL, then we'll be taking Python. This SQL and Python parallelly will happen. From there onwards, we are going to the big data Azure concept. So it should be in a smooth manner, like learn one by one, step by step.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yes. Okay. My name is David. I'm in Nigeria. I got to know about your program on WhatsApp, but I just want to ask one or two questions. I work in a telecommunication company as a test engineer, but I relate more with, as in, I'm in the data space. So I do testing for data and ensuring data quality and all that. So I want to transition. That's why I'm like, okay, let me come into this class and learn. So my question is, as a test engineer, really, I have not really been involved in all the data engineering that goes on. I just come in and test the data that has already been ingested into the database and then ensure that, okay, yes, they have the good formats, and that's what I do. And then in the place I work currently, they use all kinds of technology. I see NiFi, I see what do you call it, Kafka. I don't know if that's because I'm like, I've not really gone into like asking them, okay, if I want to go into data engineering, how do I go about it? But I don't know if there is a kind of a way you can give me a kind of understanding how I can be able to meet up with, okay, yes, I want to become a data engineer like my colleagues. How do I actually, is this the right training for me, or is there something I need before I get into this? I can actually do SQL, I can write Python, not really like that, but I'm not just the basic, because I've been able to build some apps with it, but not as strong as maybe a very good engineer like that. So
Okay.
I don't know if
Right. See, one thing I would say is, yes, you are working as a quality or maybe testing side, but this course will definitely give you a hands-on experience to become a data engineer. And whatever you've heard about the Kafka, the real-time streaming data, and maybe the orchestrations or the flows, everything you will be part of it. And of course, for a developing side, for a pipeline developer, just like what your colleagues are doing, you will be able to do it after 4 months. You can definitely transit from your testing side to a development side. But since you are already working in testing side, I don't think you will face any challenges here, because you've already been seeing what is happening in the background. Though you're not involved in the development side, this will definitely make you a good pipeline developer rather than focusing on testing. So yes, whatever you have heard about it, everything you will be learning from basics, right? From SQL, Python, PySpark, and the real-time streaming data. What you heard about Kafka, here we are using IO streaming. So it's one and the same. So you need not worry too much. If you can focus on the class, practice along with us, you should be able to build a pipeline on your own in the next 4 months. The way we work is, We are not going to just teach you and we are just not going to ask you to like read it. We are going to ask you to implement it. So whatever I am implementing in my screen share has to be replicated by you, and you have to send the snap for us. That's where we validate you. So definitely someone is there to monitor. So that is where you will learn, you will be building the pipeline. So it's a good opportunity for you to transit from your testing role to a ETL tool.
Okay, in Nigeria, do you know? I don't know what time this is going to hold. Maybe because I'm seeing 8 a.m. IST. I don't know. Maybe I have to check on that. Or is
Yeah,
there
you can
any?
reach out to our team. Our team can guide you. I don't know what's your time zone, but please reach out to our team. Our team can help you. But even if it's not in the case, you can always attend our recordings. So on a daily basis, you will be able to get the recording. So you should be able to see.
Okay,
Hello.
thank you so much.
Hello.
Yes.
Akshay here, sir. Hello.
Tell me. I can hear you. Tell me.
Yes. First of all, thank you for this valuable session. Actually, I want to know that how you can relate this data engineer with AI.
See, AI is a different, data engineering is a different. AI is like
No, in terms of getting automation, or like, is there any possibility to get an automation in data engineer, or like?
see, you can make use of AIs. Like I mean, the best example itself is a chat GPT, right? You can go and ask anything what it gives you the step-by-step process, what needs to be done. But we cannot combine both, because data engineering completely requires a business knowledge and need to know how it really works. So here your machines cannot work. Though you can use your AI tools for some of the use cases, but not completely. So don't worry about is that this automation is going to spoil the work or it's going to take back your work. It's all something it's like assumptions only. But data engineering is purely a concept based. It's purely a subject here. So focus on the subjective concepts rather than thinking about the automation. Automations and all we are using, but not with respect to AI. Internal only Azure Data Engineering as some tools. With the help of that tools, we will be automating it.
Sir, I can see in ETL tool, we can directly create data pipeline, SRE type 1 and type 2 with the help of AI. So is it going to affect in future on data engineering jobs?
See, you're saying that AI will do it, but are you sure how accurate it is as of today?
We need to debug on those pipeline,
Let
not
me
so
tell you
very
one thing.
accurate.
Let me tell you one thing. There are experts robots in the world who can operate on human. But still, why doctors are involved?
Because we trust doctors, human we trust on human.
No, very
Robots are
simple.
developed with.
Yeah.
Very simple, straightforward question. There are experts robots in the world, which has, which is introduced by a very high team. Okay, but still we are not using robots in most of the critical operations. Why? We cannot trust the machines, right? So obviously today AI can be better, but is it better than a human? A big no to that, because AIs are built by human only. So who is more intelligent here? Humans. No one can think from a human perspective. I'll tell you one thing, okay? Everyone has heard about Chat GPT, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Today, after this class, you go and search. You just go and search this, okay? In the Chat GPT, you search, where can I download Indian movies? You just type this. It gives an answer. I'm sorry, this information I will not be able to share. This is confidential. I mean, not an exact sentence. This is what it gives. Now, this is a question I asked. Where can I download the movies? I got an answer where it says that I am not authorized to share this. This is what the system says. Now I am human. You know what question I asked? I reframed the question. Where are the websites where we should not download movies? I asked. It gave all the 10 points. Now who is brilliant here? Is it a machine or a human?
Of course, it's human.
Human.
That's what I played. I played my mind game. I asked the question, it did not give the answer. I asked in the opposite way, it is giving the answer. Now that's what is still machines are not accurate as human brain. Some of the jobs are automated. Yes, I agree. Some of the companies are also have laid off 90 to 95% of all the jobs. Yes, I agree. But more number of AI, more number of opportunities will be created. It's not that easy to replace a machine, right? So don't focus on all that. You focus on what really requires as a subject. Automatically things will happen from your perspective.
Hello.
Yes.
Answer one question. How much DSA is required and how much coding is required?
See, coding is required. The toughness of the data engineering itself is coding. But as and then I said, if you are like passionate about learning, definitely you will be learning because everything we are going to learn from scratch. So scratch learning will definitely help you and scale you up. So you can always practice. I'll be giving you a lot of things to practice, where to practice, how to practice. All these details will be given. And of course, one thing I would say is if you learn coding, unless and until they throw you out during your retirement, you can never come out of IT. That is, I'm sure. If you don't know coding only, you will be laid off. You will be like focused on other skills, stop skilling, again cross skilling. All this will happen. But if you know coding, one or the other subject, you can keep on learning and you can still sustain your IT. So my experience, if you know coding, no one can touch you.
And so what about DSA? DSA is required in data engineering?
What is DSA?
Data structures and algorithms.
Not required. What is like required in terms of coding as well as for concepts, that is required. Data structures is not required.
Like if you go for product-based companies, like you are working in Microsoft, is
Even
there
in
required?
Microsoft also they didn't ask anything on data structures. So that and all is for a fresher who has to get into a top company. But experienced people focus on the pipelines as well as the concepts. That should be more than enough.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so in meanwhile, I'll answer all the chat questions now. What about the Azure subscription? Yes, definitely you have to create a subscription. We'll be helping you. I don't have coding language. Is this course fit for me? Yes, definitely. We will be teaching everything from scratch. Course fees is 25,000. Duration is 4 months. Please focus on how to handle and interact with clients. Yes, definitely we will be doing it. Azure subscription. Yes, we will be helping you in creating a subscription. You have to have a credit card. They'll give you free credits. You have to use it. In Azure, we will be learning around 10 services. There are almost 200 services, but what is required for data engineering, only we will be learning that. So projects, we will be learning 3 projects and we are going to learn 10 pipelines. Freshers, yes, freshers also is like can read this, though opportunity will be less, but if you get it, you will be able to get a very high package. So even though if you don't have a coding language, yes, we will be teaching you from scratch. And yes, I'm already a data engineer. Yes, I can. Yes, definitely. If you are a data engineer, you will be able to grab more of use case problems. So data engineer is the person who works as a data cleaning steps. Analyst is a person who works on a reporting, and scientist is a person who works on the models. So I think I've answered all the questions. In which technology we do find more remote opportunities? Remote opportunities is there in most of the cloud, but Azure is leading. AWS is a market leader. Yes, of course, no doubt about it. But as we said, it's expensive. Yeah, I think I've answered all the questions. Can we able to know the last batch placement scenario? Yes, definitely you can reach out to our team. Our team can guide you in knowing more information about the past out students. Are we good? Any other questions?
Well, Santosh, like, do we have any pipeline or any project on Databricks specifically?
Yes. Out of 3 projects, 1 project will be completely on Databricks.
Okay, and like in Azure, there is no free service or like free value for like Databricks. So we are using any other.
Obviously, they're giving 30 days trial, right? With that should be more than enough for you to practice.
Okay, for Databricks as well, Azure
Yes,
Databricks.
yes. Worst case, you may spend around 500 rupees, but that should be manageable.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Hello, Santosh.
Yes.
Just want to ask that right now I'm working as a senior data analyst and I'm having around 1.5 years of experience in IT. And just want to know that I'm right now working on the one of the AI tools, NanoNets, that is working on the data extraction, and inside that I'm also working in the creating the rules for the invoices or the orders which we are getting. So I'm also using the Python for the language. So just want to know that I'm also working on the Microsoft Navision. I just want to know that is it good for me to join this course?
So definitely, if you're working as an analyst, knowing the base, knowing the first technology will be an added advantage. And obviously, nowadays companies are looking for multi-skilled. So the faster you learn, the better career you will be like stabilized. So my first choice for you, I would say go for it, learn it, and then you can decide like which role to apply or what you're looking for. That we can discuss in the later part. But as of now, having multi-skilled is always something which will be an added advantage for you.
Okay.
Okay, so with that, if you don't have any questions, thank you so much for your time. The class starts on 27th July morning 8 o'clock. So request you to attend first 5 free days of the class. So you need not pay anything. You just attend the class for 5 days. Only if you're satisfied, only if you're happy, only if you're understanding. End of the day, it's your decision, it's your career that you need to decide. And the first priority you need to give is, are you understanding the subject? Based on that, you can join the course. So please attend the demo. The demo link will be shared to your number, WhatsApp number, and you will be able to get the link. First 5 days will be completely free starting from Thursday. And after that, you have to get registered, and the registration fees is 25,000. You can also pay through the installment, or you can pay through the app. So our team can guide you with the more details. And that's all about today. Let's meet on 27th. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.